Welcome, everyone, to Dimes on Duval. Felt good saying that. Wow. Dimes on Duval with Skylar Chase and Mike Yaji. I am Keith Manzi. Welcome aboard, fellas.
What's up, everyone?
Howdy, howdy.
We are here. As some of you know, hopefully a lot of you know, we have recently rebranded. We have gotten a new logo. We have gotten a new website. And we are Dimes on Duval. Mike, you want to talk about a little bit about the little history of that, where we got that name from?
We thought we needed to rebrand because trust the process is something that has been obviously associated with the Philadelphia 76ers. And I mean, I understand everyone keeps thinking trust the process, Sixers, okay, whatever. And locally, no one really talks about us in terms of associating with the logo. They just say it's Mike, Skylar, and Keith. But the reason why we came up with, I believe we came up with Dimes on Duval is we wanted to have a more local feel to it. The podcast name is definitely more local than anything else. We're talking about the name Duval is in the podcast name, and the reason why I said Dimes on Duval is because dimes can be used in many iterations in sports. Whether in basketball, you're giving a nice dime, nice assist. Football, you're throwing a dime of a throw from a quarterback to anyone else. I don't even know the other terms for dime, but I just know those are the two main things. And honestly, it could work in
Bag.
Say it again.
Dime bag. Jacksonville's very known for drug use.
Okay, we're not going there, but no, I mean, saying
You
dimes on
could say
Duval,
stopping on a dime, you know?
stopping on dime, yeah. Quick takes, like quick
Heads or
quick
tails.
stop, heads or tails, exactly.
Point top.
But I say the reason we came up with dimes on Duval is because we each give our own takes about whether it's football, basketball, you guys with baseball and NASCAR, any sport around that would be going on normally. We each have our own takes, so we're each giving out information. So in this case, we're each giving out a pass, a lob, whatever the situation may be. And I feel like that's the perfect way of describing our takes. Or we're not dimes, but like we give out. I feel like some people have good takes, some people have bad takes, and that's the whole point of Duval. Like, I'm sorry, the name just dimes on Duval. We interact with each other. We spit out whatever we believe is a fact or whatever our opinions are, and that's just how it goes.
I like that take. I mean, that's about as good as it gets right there. I mean, we started this journey with terrible quality YouTube videos.
I
We
remember those.
transitioned from video to audio soon after that, from iPhone mics to phone mics to the little microphone that we had for a little while to hopefully a new mic soon. I mean, we've had distractions, inconsistencies.
I don't think there's anything with the mic we have on cast right now.
Say that again?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the mic we have on cast now. Mike Yazi's doing a great job.
Oh my gosh, we saw Mike my name. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
it took me a minute there.
I was like, what is he talking about? We're like not even together. And I was like, wait, okay.
Goodness gracious.
No, we like this mic, but yeah, we've had every other curveball that you can throw in there, but you know, we figured things out. We're on a path now to where we want to get as much content out as we can. And I mean, we couldn't have done it without all of you. I mean, we're over 200 likes on Facebook now. We just broke the 50 mark on Twitter, which isn't very high, but you know what? It is what it is. We all have humble beginnings, and hopefully that you share us with your friends and we can continue to grow this brand and give us any ideas you have too, and we can go from there. But with that, it's May, guys. May the 4th be with you.
Oh gosh.
We've had the NFL draft, which a reason why we did not record any sooner than this was Mike celebrated a birthday. I celebrated a birthday. Skyler did not celebrate a birthday, but he celebrated
I
with
didn't
his spirit.
text them for birthdays, but happy belated birthdays.
Thank you.
Thank you, Skyler. You're the last. I hope you're the last person to tell us happy birthday.
Well, hopefully people tell you happy birthday next year. Hopefully you get through another year.
Okay, I meant this year, but yeah, I appreciate that.
So, well, with that, we apologize for the delay for this episode, but as you see, the website took up a lot of my time, so I didn't really have the time for it. But let's go ahead and jump right in with the draft. So, the NFL draft was started on April 23rd and continued on the next couple days. I mean, it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be a lot more trades. I thought there was going to be a lot more just excitement overall, but it was pretty tame. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it looked. I mean, there's no fans, so I mean, no one knew when to get excited. Or I think I missed the most is like just seeing Jets fans boo whoever they get, no matter what. Just like that, just seeing those fans react. That's I guess what I did miss the most, and I think that's what made it boring. It's because I mean, I honestly had no idea how to react except with how Twitter reacted. And I mean, I think everyone as a Jag fan had pretty much the same reaction anyways, because no one we got was too exciting. I guess everyone's a really solid pick, but we weren't able to get anyone like any slip downs like how Josh Allen was last year.
Or really flashy players either. There wasn't the flash factor with our picks. They were all pretty run of the mill kind of picks.
It just felt like there were so many, like the first 6 picks or so. The players are such good players that the players picked after that, they weren't bad players there, but like they're not exciting, but like they're still really good quality players. Like CJ Henderson, I know not too many people are like crazy over it, but had it been like a different year, he probably would have been a top 5 pick, perhaps, just with his build and such. But you have to have 2 guys same size and speed and such with pretty similar skill sets that, it's just crazy how many different players like Burrow and Tua. I mean, you don't have 2 quarterbacks that are both that great coming out. I mean, we've had arguments about Mariota and Winston, but I mean, they both had their knocks and flaws coming out. I mean, Burrow and Tua definitely have their knocks and flaws, but the point I'm making, I guess, is just some of these players just seem more polished, and it just kind of made the draft feel like it had more depth to it overall, anyways.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, who of our draft picks, who do you think was your favorite pick? Who was your favorite pick, Skyler?
Caleb on Chase. Well, I'm going to interrupt you real quick.
All right, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I was going to say Caleb on Chase was my favorite pick because I didn't think he was a top 10 pick, but I definitely did think that he was worth picking in the 20 with the second pick, and now we had him in the first round. And I alluded to it in the article that I post on our site on dinosonduval.com that he was without a doubt the second best pass rusher in the draft behind Chase Young. And what I like about Chase and I mentioned in an article, is that he even quoted it. He's saying he thinks he's the most valuable player in the draft, and that he can play any position. He can play pass rusher. He can stop the run. He can go play back in coverage if needed. Like, having someone with that versatility to me is a huge part, especially with the amount of questions we have going into this next year on our defense. We lost Calais Campbell. We lost AJ Boye. We traded those 2 stars away. We traded away Jalen Ramsey midseason last year. We traded away Dante Fowler the year before. Let's see. There's also the Marcel Darius is not coming back. A lot of losses. A lot of losses from the 2017 defense that led us to the AFC Championship. But in general, a lot of losses last year from what we started off 2019. So just having him come in, establish him and Josh Allen. The fact that I love is that they both know each other, and they both are good friends. So they are both going to want to work on each other's crafts, help each other out. And I think that's going to be huge for our pass rush, especially with the whole Unique Ngakoue situation. going on. Granted, I don't think Giddick's going to play another down here in Jacksonville, but I think Kayvon is going to be I love the Kayvon Chason pick. And one thing I do want to mention, I was not a fan of Henderson when you drafted him at 9 because I felt like we've had a recent history of first round busts from Florida. So that's why I'm a little hesitant on it.
Well,
But he can play. He's definitely not a loudmouth like Jalen Ramsey was, but he's got the ability to be a solid corner, and I'm actually looking at more highlights of him. I think he is a good fit. Now let's just see if he can stay healthy for one, and also learn how to tackle because he had an issue in college with tackling. But everyone says that Deion Sanders, the greatest corner of all time, couldn't tackle. So we'll see. I mean, I like the draft. I love the Chase on pick the most out of everything. Out of all the players we drafted this last week, Chase on is my favorite pick.
Okay, Skylar, you?
Well, I was excited for Chase on because I wanted Simmons, and for a second I thought he was gonna drop, mainly because I'm excited about the prospect of seeing like us in a 3-4 defense, which with Chase on I think we still are capable. I think Simmons is just a more polished player in terms of that, but they really are the same skill set, and I think Chase on can still reach that potential and exceed it if he wants it, which makes me even more excited. I think having those two guys on the edge, you never know who can drop back, who's going to rush and such. And then I'm speaking on with him and Josh Allen. And then, you can kind of free up Taven Bryan at that big end because he might still have an edge on him, like an edge next to him, which makes him more comfortable playing like a defensive tackle position as opposed to like that big end. But he's still technically in that role. And then we'll have Dayton Harrison, right, from Ohio State. He'll be the other nose guard and such. So I think this builds up a really strong line and such. But I guess just looking at all the draft picks, the one I'm excited to see on the field the most, probably just to see how he's going to produce, is Laviska Shenault. I mean, just his physicality on the field and his highlights is just pretty awesome to watch. I think it gives us a lot. We have a lot of versatility in short yardage situations. With his physicality, we can line him up in the backfield with Fournette, and you have two guys that can probably plow over you. And then, we'll have DJ Chark on the outside and probably put Colin Johnson in some situations. So you got 6'4" and 6'6" on the outside. Not to mention we have Tyler Eifert coming up the middle, and hopefully Josh Oliver's healthy, and you have two tall guys right in the middle.
Good one there.
Well, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of like both sides seem to fit well as a puzzle, but as opposed to what they actually will do together, it'll be interesting to see. But I think we have a bunch of interesting pieces that are capable, when working together, making a really great form, for our team. But I mean, I think Laviska overall just excites me with his speed, his power, and I think you put him in the slot, you can give the ball to him on a little 3-yard slant, and it's something he might break for a touchdown. You can have him run in the backfield. You hand him off the ball like a wide receiver end around, and he's going to be able to plow over some guys and get some yardage that way. So I think even though we didn't really target any like super big receivers or like high name receivers, and we also didn't draft a running back, although we picked up Chris Thompson afterwards.
We'll get into that in a minute.
So I mean, overall, I think Laviska is an interesting piece, and I think I'm most excited to see him. I think Chason will probably overall have the biggest impact initially. But yeah, Laviska is probably my most excited player just after the fact. I think during the night it was Chason, but
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I'm going to go even further down into the round 5. I'm going with Colin Johnson. I mean,
yeah, I like Colin Johnson too.
I've watched a lot of his tape, and that dude is a flat out like boss. Like I've always been one for tall receivers. I mean, he's 6'6". He's got the height. He doesn't have the speed, obviously, because he's that tall. But like he
He's mobile enough.
Honestly, I just want to see Minshew throw a lob to him and just like
Throw a
watch
deep,
him.
just throw a fade and see what he can do with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And
like I would
teams can't
freak out.
double Chark anymore like they were last offseason because the second
Because
Exactly.
Marquise
receiver was
Lee can't
DD.
stay healthy. I'm sorry, Marquise Lee's gone. Chris Conley is also getting up there in age. He's not as quick anymore. D.D. Westbrook's a slot guy, so yeah, now that Chark has other weapons, he can get open and do what he wants to do, which I'm excited to see what Chark can do with another year with Keenan Cardell as the receivers coach.
Yeah, I'm excited for this receiving core as a whole. But Colin Johnson, that one, I'd watched him play. I went and watched more highlights, and I think he could really fit into this offense well. I mean, if you guys haven't yet, you need to go on to our website, dimesonduval.com. And right there on the homepage is our featured article. And our featured article right now is our very own Mike Yagi's 2020 draft review. It basically dives into each and every individual player. But I actually have it pulled up right now looking at his Colin Johnson take right here. And you mentioned Keenan McCardell will work with him. But you say that he might be on special teams at the start of the year or the practice squad. But, hey, you never know. He could surprise us. I'm actually kind of looking forward to preseason so I can see him play.
If we have a preseason, but yeah.
If we have a preseason, you're right. But, well, let's keep going on with some Jags news. Oh, you had something else? No?
Who?
Okay. Oh, never mind. I thought somebody said something. We'll go in with what Skyler touched on there with the Chris Thompson addition. So, Chris Thompson isn't the answer for the future, obviously. The dude can't stay healthy. He's already up there in age, but Leonard Fournette's option was not picked up. Do you like that? Or what are y'all's thoughts on that?
It is what it is.
That's great.
It is what it is.
No, I'm glad we didn't pick up the option because there's no point in paying a running back, whatever the number was for the option. I think it was like $10 million. I don't know what the option number is. Thing is, I was the only one I felt like against drafting Fournette in the top 5. And now it's proven.
Oh, you were not the only one.
Okay, I feel like it sometimes because everyone is all over Fournette, and I'm like,
I called in when he got drafted to say I didn't like the pick, and the guy scoffed at me.
That's because everyone thinks you need a franchise running back. You need a franchise quarterback, but that's beside the point. Anyways, no, I mean, Fournette has been an issue for this coaching staff and front office. He's a headache off the field. He doesn't know when to stay off Twitter. Although I do love when he tweets because he tweets some funny shit. Like he does not care. But he also I do like Fournette as a person because he's definitely someone who cares about the community and all that. He is a good person, good-hearted person. I mean, he's just an average running back. I think he's not a top 10 running back. He's not even top.
I think he's slightly above average, but yeah, I get that he's not good. He's not good enough to where he was picked.
Yeah, not at all because we passed on Christian McCaffrey, and just that itself is pretty bad. We passed on quarterbacks. I know we passed on quarterbacks. We passed on a lot of players for Fournette, and Fournette's turning out to be not a great pick. I mean, he did an amazing job at his rookie year, helped us get to the AFC Championship, but after that, it's been a kind of a decline.
Well, I don't think he has this year to prove himself because we didn't go after anyone in the draft. We didn't sign anyone notable. I mean, we got Chris Thompson for passing situations, I think, for third down, but I think he's still going to have a lot of playing time this year and a lot to say on the field. And, if he's able, he's capable of putting up massive games. Like he had a massive game in Denver with the 200 yards, and he had massive games his rookie years. And the thing is, it's getting downhill and reading his holes and such. But that's
his vision's terrible.
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, okay. Do you think it's fair though? Like, say this year he plays really well. Do you think? No. Well, okay. Let me put it this way: what is like the threshold that he needs to hit in order for you to say, you know what, I want to re-sign him? Or do you not want to re-sign him at all?
That's the Jaguars probably told him up front. They're like, we want this type of production. If you can give it to us this year, this is the number we'll give you. And then Leonard probably has his own number too. I want to get here to prove them wrong. And then when I exceed that, I'm going to sign for this much elsewhere. So I think it's I think they both have presented different numbers. I'm sure.
Man, I'm not paying him at all. Even whatever he does, I'm not paying him.
Yeah, no.
So if he puts up like Aaron Jones numbers this year, you're not gonna.
I'm not re-signing a
What
running
if he
back
puts
who can't
2,000
stay.
yards? Like,
Yeah, definitely not re-signing him at that point because I'm not pulling. There's many teams that have had great running backs and then they flame out after years. Look at Todd Gurley.
yeah, but
What's their name? The Rams re-signed him and then he can't even stay healthy. His knees are about to go out.
I feel like
And
Todd Gurley's case is a little different. I feel like they didn't give him the carries he deserves in some situations, and they wanted to lean more on Goff. But I can understand like the argument.
I
with
mean,
running back.
isn't that the same thing what the Jags have to do with Minshew? If they believe it's the guy, if they believe Minshew is the guy, they're gonna have to put the ball in his hands. And granted, they had this perfect example week 2 last year against the Texans. Tried to run it against Houston. Fournette got stuffed when they could have put it in Minshew's hands, who carried us back from behind to almost tie the game and win the game. And they put in Fournette's hands and they got stuffed. And then everyone was still complaining about that call.
That's because
about the game plan.
So the situation was we give it to our guy. We drafted that number 3 or whatever instead of our rookie guy.
Yeah, and that's what's going to cost
the
last front office and.
That's a different year. So that's why they got the playmakers and Laviska too. I think Laviska is going to ease a lot of these short situations, and I think they'll probably pair well together for some of these. I don't think Fournette will get the production where we will want to re-sign him. I'm just saying I think he's capable of being back that, he it may be given the right situation, but I mean, I understand.
But my question, Skyler, what would be a good expectation for the Jaguars to re-sign him? Like they both agreed to a number, and they say, okay, you're re-signed. What is a number for you for Fournette?
Well, if he's getting like 125 yards on the ground each game, like averaging that, I mean, I don't see. I wouldn't want to rely on a rookie in that situation. I'd probably still draft maybe change a pace back depending on the style that Fournette's running. I mean,
so you're thinking 125 yards a game, 16 games,
17,
2,000 yards. So you think?
Well, they're coming out with 17-game schedule this year. I thought.
Is it this year or next year?
I thought they're releasing it this year.
Well, either way, so
I thought it was next year.
Either way, minimum 2,000 yards. So you're saying 2,000 yards, you re-sign Fournette?
At 2,000 yards, I would re-sign him because he's only hit his 4th year. But
I would not re-sign him. Yeah, that's when you don't. I would maybe sign him for a 1-year deal, franchise tag. But other than that, I would not touch him because that's a lot of wear and tear on him because he did play 3 full years at LSU. He also has not stayed healthy since high school, and that's about 7-8 years now out of high school. So that's I'm a little concerned with the running back. And running backs can get replaced left and right. They get left big. I mean, look at the Rams. They replaced Gurley with Cam Akers. So running backs are the most easily replaced position in football. In my opinion.
That. All I'm saying is he just has to put up historical numbers, and if I want him back, that's all I'm saying, really.
Even if he puts up, an MVP season, I still wouldn't re-sign him.
Wow. Okay, that's fair. Even to no, you never.
I think Mike's
say
fair.
Well, I was going to say a short contract, but he wouldn't take
he would want a long-term deal. He'd want a 5-year deal, 4-year deal, and then even then, I'm like, no, I would not re-sign Fournette in general.
It depends on
he's
the
gonna get hurt again.
Too. Like if it's a lot of physical yardage, then I wouldn't. But if he's getting downhill, like in the open field, he's not being touched and he's just running in wide open space.
I don't remember really many runs where Fournette does not look for contact.
Well, I get that, but I'm talking more so in terms if we're able to translate our style blocking and such into a game where. If you watch San Francisco, their backs have huge holes, and their guys just go. They just go and run, and they're pretty much in open space for the most part. And that's pretty. I think without San Francisco's running game, Garoppolo doesn't play as efficiently as he does. And
absolutely not. Yeah.
I think there's more argument to the running game now than there is maybe just even last year because even with Kansas City winning, did the running back for them, didn't he
Damian Williams.
Then he had like a couple touchdowns or something.
He had I think 1 or 2 touchdowns. He had like 100 yards rushing, or over 100 yards rushing, but he didn't get the MVP because they gave it to the quarterback.
Well, that's because it's
They gave it to
biased.
Mahomes.
I mean,
it's completely biased. I agree. Damian Williams should have won Super Bowl MVP this year, but it is what it is. Like you said in the beginning when Keith asked us about
much
Fournette.
like the government, the NFL will continue to control everything.
You got that right. Well, something that they can't control are the effects of COVID-19 on our international games. So it is official that we will not be playing in London this year. So those two home games that we lost will be played in Jacksonville. So we will have 8 games at home for the first time since when, guys? Do you know the year? The last time we had 8 games in Jacksonville?
Like
I don't want to say 2011.
2012. Mike Mularkey
was I remember like my freshman year.
Justin Blackman was our first round draft pick. We passed on Russell Wilson to draft a punter and Brian Anger.
Shut up.
And Blake Gabbert started more than half the season. And our big free agent signing was Laurent Robinson. Good God.
Oh my, Laurent Robinson. Oh my God.
Singing Iowa
Why
State
did you do that? I don't know. I don't really care. We signed him from Dallas.
He was just a very average receiver.
Yeah, no, he was. I got Kerry Taylor's glove once at a practice. He threw me his gloves.
That's pretty sweet. But with that news, I mean, don't you feel like we need to pack out those games to realize, like, hey, guys, I mean, if we're allowed now, granted, screw COVID-19 and everything with that, we are allowed to go to football games. We are allowed to be in the stadium. Don't you feel like we need to pack out the stadium for those games?
They're still going to play in London next year.
I feel like
Wait, what do you mean?
You feel like it wouldn't send a message, though? Like, hey, you guys are idiots?
I think I mean, I don't know, because I don't know.
It'll send a message in terms of maybe reducing it to 1 London game, not 2.
I mean, it would be better to pack out the stadium than to not show up as a protest or something. That makes zero sense. The whole point is we want the games here. I feel like if we pack it out and be like, yo, guys, we want to come to here for the games.
I understand that logic and such, but I think the decision's already been made that they plan to carry out these London games indefinitely, and we happen to get lucky with, I don't know, like with this pandemic, it's like almost like a weird karma for him. But I don't think, no matter what happens this year, like in terms of who attends, who doesn't, I don't think it really changes his mind or anything. I don't think he's going to look at the numbers and be like, they will sell out for 8 games. I just don't think it will happen.
I agree. I just think it would just look better for the city if that's the case, because,
I think if the team plays well and they sell out every game, then it looks well, and he'll be like, oh, you know what? Maybe there needs to be more emphasis on performance as opposed to where we're playing these games. I agree.
I think my take on it is more just like, the casual fan, say, in Charlotte, and he's just like, the Jags, they suck, man. Like, they're moving to London because they don't know how to sell tickets. Well, then they, see that, oh, wow, man, they're actually packed out for these games. And maybe they don't want to move. Maybe they're just trying to do a last effort, to save themselves. I don't know. I look at it like that. Probably still doesn't mean anything, but I'd hope to go to one of those games just to make myself feel better.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I was a season ticket holder last year, and when they made the announcement, I was, decided I didn't want to get season tickets. Now, at this moment, I just don't know. Like they're offering like a flex package where you can get season tickets without those 2 games, and then you can get season tickets with those 2 games. So, but I still don't know if I would want to get season tickets because I think I'd rather just go to the games, second market, as opposed to just supporting how they've been running the team anyways. Because it wasn't their decision to come back and play these 2 games. They're not happy they have to do this. They're not happy that that Jacksonville fans get to attend the games. They're sad that they're not going to get the London money.
That's very fair. Mike, you have anything on that or not?
Nah, I mean, it is. I mean, I don't know. They probably, like Sasha, they have their minds made up on London. But the thing is, there is definitely a lot more money that comes into the city from the London games. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, this whole COVID-19 thing has definitely thrown their plans into whack. So we'll see what happens, honestly.
And who's to know
So
if we
wait
can
and
even
see.
have fans at the game too?
Exactly, that's the
Yeah,
thing,
I
yeah.
tried.
And this is gonna be a
I
massive.
tried to take it without
This is gonna
that.
be a very, yeah. This is gonna be a very big loss if they don't get football games here or anywhere in the NFL because it's bad. It's gonna be bad.
You know, they haven't announced fans for things, but the Gators announced a 3-game football pack. So it's almost like an unofficial announcement that, they're like, all right, we're selling tickets to this. And the pack includes like a non-SEC game, the LSU game, and then an extra SEC game. But I just took that almost as like an unofficial announcement that they are expecting to have fans. But, that obviously can change after, like, within another month because we're in phase 1 right now, and the numbers could change after this too. So who knows? But
Who knows indeed? Who knows indeed? Switching over to the NBA on TNT. No, not on TNT. On Dimes on Duval. Every Sunday for the last couple of weeks, we have been watching The Last Dance. I love
the
it.
beautiful movie about a daughter ridden with cancer gets to dance with her father at her wedding.
It's incredibly heart wrenching. It makes me want to, hug my daughter that I don't even have yet. But, it's just, no. No, the Michael Jordan documentary, the 10-part docuseries, so far, I mean, I've caught all of them. Mike, you said you caught all of them, right? And Skyler, you said you missed just a couple, but so
yeah,
far,
I'm shooting
I've
50%
learned.
on the shows right now.
What's that?
I'm shooting 50% on what I caught.
Well, as of right now, I've learned a lot. I mean, I knew about those teams. I knew about, Jordan as a player and some of his backstory. But, take last night, for example, I had no idea the whole Adidas crap. That was crazy.
Yeah, okay. Can we touch on that?
Go ahead, Mike. You take the floor.
First off, Nike, and thank God his mom let him go to Nike, like force him to say take this interview with Nike
hey, Adidas is
because
dope. All right, chill.
Adidas is dope, yes, but the thing is, like Nike, everyone knows Jordan is like Jordan associates with Nike. That's the thing. Like, what blew my mind is the fact that Nike, after they signed Jordan, they expected $3 million after 4-year deal with Jordan. They blew that out of the water in 1 year. They got $126 million in sales in 1 year compared to the 4-year expectation. That blew my mind. I was like, how?
That's going to be you on Friday.
No, that's not even going to be close to me. No.
It made me want to put on my ones right then and there and just go out and play basketball.
You have
I
a
have
pair?
ones, yeah.
Oh, dang it. I need to get a pair. I want to get a pair, but now it's going to be overpriced.
And we'll make a game and film it or something.
Well,
do you have Jordan jerseys?
I don't.
I do
have
not.
a lot of other jerseys, but not Jordan.
I don't have any anymore, but when I was younger, I had a Bulls jersey and a Toon Squad Jordan jersey.
If you could pick one Michael Jordan jersey from his career, which jersey would you pick?
Toon Squad.
Mike?
I mean, the classic Bulls ones are always
It's
nice.
between Toon Squad or his like rookie roads where like the Chicago was cursive.
Yeah, that was pretty too. I'd go with his USA jersey from the Dream Team.
You got to get the Jack Shrimp.
The Dream Team, nice. Yeah.
What's that?
The Jack Shrimp did those last year, I think, or a couple years ago. I don't know if they still sell them, but they made like the Dream Team uniforms, but it said Jack's Jumbo Shrimp on it instead of USA.
Huh? I didn't see
that.
Go
on
They
Twitter.
Probably did. I'm sure it's there.
They just highlighted it like last night, I think. Or yeah, because I guess it was the Olympic episode. Or something
it makes sense, yeah, because they talked about the Dream Team a lot. So, okay, well, I wanted to end the show with a new segment that was formerly called What? Remember that one from way back in the day?
Oh,
What?
yeah. Been a
It's
while.
renamed Curiosities, where it's just a couple questions or statements that highlight oddities within the familiar. So, take for example this first one here. If you step on someone's foot, they open their mouth, just like a garbage can. You step on the foot pedal, the quote
Oh
mouth
my
opens
gosh.
up, and you throw the trash in. So, are we really just garbage bins?
We do dispose of stuff.
Pregnant women are the only true bodybuilders. If you think about it, literally,
Oh
they
my
are
gosh.
bodybuilders. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
He's slow.
No, I get it. No, I get it. I'm just like, really?
Sweater is a
I think
pretty
they're terrific, Keith. Keep it up.
Thank you. Well, a sweater is a pretty disgusting name for a piece of clothing if you really think about it.
Yeah.
I don't really want to.
Makes sense.
I really don't want to sweat. Ugh, that makes me grossed out thinking about it. If you're waiting if you're waiting to be served in a restaurant, shouldn't you be called the waiter?
The waiter, I've heard that
Yeah,
before.
I mean, it's true. Aren't you the waiter in that technically? And the last one we'll just end on just because it's sports related. The goal of golf is to play as little golf as possible.
Yep.
Skylar, have you golfed at all during this?
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I've practiced outside a couple times, but mainly inside.
Are there any? Well, I guess the driving ranges are still open, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's fine, they're
The
open.
courses were open for the most part, anyways. It depended on the course, but a lot of them were still open. Business was booming. The market on golf course, like I think golf courses excelled because of this. People went out to the golf courses more than they ever did.
I agree. I've been sitting here thinking about it. Scott, of all people, loyal listener, Scott, my brother, he has told me that he was looking to go play 9 somewhere, but he waited too long now because it's basically over for him. But I mean, that guy hasn't picked up a club in years.
Well, tell him to come on by.
Yeah, to our wonderful sponsor, Coastal Indoor Golf. What's the word over there, Sky?
Well, we have a sale going on right now. Actually, it's about membership. So if you get a membership, you just get double the hours for this month and next month. And we have memberships that are $50 a month, and that basically just guarantees you an hour. And then that's the basic membership. You get 1 hour with the basic, but because it's double, you get 2. And then the $75 package, you'll get 4 because it's typically 2 hours. So depending on which package you get 2 or 4 hours this month, and then 2 or 4 next month. And then there's plenty perks with that as well. But other than that, with stuff we're actually doing some different things right now. We got Justin James in here quite a bit. He's doing this one thing with athlons. He's an athlons athlete. It's a shoe design for performance, really, for golf performance. It's actually the sole is kind of inverted and concave, if that makes sense. But basically, it's angled to where you can kind of build up power and rotate a little bit smoother, as opposed to where you're flat-footed and you kind of dig into the ground going backwards and such.
So you mean like during your swing, you're able to kind of move your foot your foot a little bit like more natural?
Yeah, it's almost like if you so a pitcher, when they pitch, they put their foot on the rubber and they push off the rubber, and just that helps them get more power. Whereas if you're in a golf shoe, you're still pushing off your back foot, but if it's flat, you're not able to push off that rubber. So the Athlon's shoe has almost like a slight angle to the sole, so it almost as if you're pushing off something like a rubber or a wall, and just really getting extra power into your back foot for loading up. And I know, Keith, you looked up Justin James, but he's just one of the athletes. Bernhard Langer's another one, but Justin James is hold on real quick.
He's a boss. That's what he is.
He's a 2017 World Long Drive champion. He's currently number 4 in the world. So he's been new in this league that he's trying to get started, help with athlons get started, and I'm helping him out with that a little bit. But basically, it's like how ESPN's doing horse. He will hit a shot, and someone else will hit their shot from wherever they're playing. They're both on 2 different sims, and basically, I'm just capturing the footage, and they have David Marr calling the action. He's a broadcaster. He's done some golf events, but his dad, I believe, was a player in the President's Cup in 1964. It's actually got some good players involved. Mike Trout was lined up for it, just if it got organized properly. But we're still in the stages of kind of getting it going and getting up. So we're just getting a lot of footage. But he's actually coming in here tomorrow we're gonna do another episode as well.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I mean, definitely look forward to that. If you want to ever listen to that, please make sure to reach out to us, because Skyler's got some pretty big name people coming in and out of those doors over at Coastal, and we thank them for being one of our sponsors. And
yeah, just to touch on Justin, he's actually starting to work with some PGA Tour pros, and one of the guys he's working with is Russell Knox, a local guy, kind of. He's a Scotland-born player, but went to JU. So I mean, Russell's been here a couple times, and it's entertaining watching him train. And he's a funny guy. He's got the athleticism you would expect from a guy that looks like that, I guess.
Yes, I can imagine so. Well, sweet. Yeah, that's what's going on with Coastal Indoor Golf. Check them out on Facebook, on our website as well. There's a link at the bottom of our homepage to go to their homepage.
Yeah. Just to touch up more, too, sorry to interrupt, but
go ahead.
We're trying to do more like social things like movie night and game night, too. So like we're more than just going out and golfing. If you want to like rent a bay to watch like a game on one of the projector screens, we can do that too. I had an old Jaguar. I had the Jaguars Steelers game, playoff game from 2007 up on one screen as I was playing Quail Hollow on the other sim. So just something we're capable of doing. You can rent that, watch any movie, or you can play video games on it if you like. So,
well, there we go. That is what's going on with Coastal Indoor Golf right now. As we wrap things up here, it is the evening time, but I want to say thank you to you guys for being able to be on here today. I mean, we are using Anchor. If you are not familiar with Anchor, or if you haven't heard about it, it's the easiest way to make your podcast. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms as well. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one piece. So go ahead, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started today. You can find our podcast on there and listen to us on there if you don't want to use SoundCloud, Spotify, or the other ones, or you can use it to go to those apps. So we appreciate Anchor for being our distributor right now for our podcast, and we look forward to keep using them in the future if we're still quarantined like this. It's been a blessing, that's for dang sure. But I think that's it for us. It's been real. This is our first official Dimes on Duval episode.
DoD,
baby. Thank you all for listening. If you want to hear anything specific, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are all ears. If you know us personally, send us a text, send us a message, or you've got our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at Dimes on Duval, or check out our website and contact us there. So once again, we thank you all for listening today, and I hope you all have a great day.